Hi, greetings. This is Sieg with leadership quality number 7. Good leaders know when and how to delegate. Quality number 7, good leaders know when and how to delegate. So this is in reference to the leadership series that I have on the Renegade blog, and we're doing these weekly. And I really appreciate all the comments that come in off of this blog series. And it's been wonderful to read how this has been very relatable to you and your situation. So I want to share with you this particular quality. Again, good leaders know when and how to delegate. And I'll tell you what brought this one about is yesterday I had a out of office appointment. And I always like to have a book with me. You know how that is at this is actually a doctor's appointment, where you sit there in the waiting room. And I don't like to read just the magazines that are sitting there, because they're usually not magazines that I care about too much. So I always grab a book. It's just automatic, because I can't stand not having something really good to read, you know, and feeling like I'm wasting my time, because I could be reading or writing, one of the two. But there's this book, and you may have heard of it, The 4-Hour Work Week by Timothy Ferriss. And I mean, this is off my bookshelf. I could have grabbed any one of numerous books, but I thought, no, I need this one, because of late I have been in this zone of efficiency and streamlining. At this time of this recording, I just recently rolled out yet a 4th membership. So I have all told now 4 membership levels in my training and mentorship community. And so that was just about 3 weeks ago. I rolled out 2 more, and so I'm really in big content creation space, rolling out this new training that I'm putting together. This one happens to be called the Total Funnel Immersion, and this is my high mentorship group that I'm working with. And I'm like, oh man, I thought I was regimented before, and it's like I got to take my game to a whole nother level in terms of regimentation. But more so, I am just got this almost militant viewpoint. I've got to streamline. I have got to move other things off my plate, because I have so much that I'm managing, and I'm also the CEO of my company, 80/20 Marketing. So I'm just looking at everything, what can I get rid of? So I'm on kind of this elimination rampage. And this book just really set me off on a high level that I have got to do this. It's not an optional activity. It's really imperative that I go on this elimination rampage. And so the one chapter was all about just letting people know, training them to be efficient and effective. And I was reading through, and there are really, really great tips and suggestions, but I also, as the leader of my team, I have to train my people as well to be effective and efficient. Well, a good part of that for myself is that whole delegation. And as I was preparing my thoughts on this, it took me back in time. Oh, it's got to be about 8 or 9 years now. And I recall, as at that time I was building my first online MLM, and I was processing my leads and putting them in this envelope and the whole thing, and I thought, this is ridiculous. Why am I spending my time on this? Because it was pretty much a rote activity, something that you could easily train someone else to do. So that's when I reached out to my youngest son at that time. He was in 7th grade, and I basically made this, proposition. How about, you work for me an hour a day, and I'll pay you so much, okay? And I trained him up, and I was able to offset that rote activity and say, there, now you can have it. And so I'm doing more and more of that in earnest, because I simply have to do it. I've been forced into a corner, because as it was, my workload has been really huge, but now rolling out 2 new memberships, my workload has become even that much bigger. So this is for you. as you look at your task to determine when a task is ready to be offset. And the way I look at it is, have I first mastered it? Because if I have mastered it, then I can teach and train someone to be very effective at that. So that's one of the requirements, is do I have good mastery of it? If I'm really sloppy at it, how am I going to be able to train someone else? Unless I am able to find someone who can already do that at a mastery level. So it's for you to determine when you've got it nailed to outsource that to somebody or offset. And then you have to look at that person. Are they ready to receive that workload and that new work task? And I believe that's determined by the leader and their willingness and ability to work with that person to train them up properly on that task. You can't just say, hey, here, I need you to do this for me. You got to have a plan and a strategy for that. You have to demonstrate confidence in their capability to execute it. And the way, in part, that you demonstrate that understanding that they're going to excel at this, you have to be alongside them, which is point number 3. You've got to be able to guide and mentor them through that process to reach a level of excellence that you're going to be pleased with. Because that's really the responsibility of the leader, you as the CEO of your business. There is a tendency for us to just want to, we've hit a point of frustration, I got to eliminate this task, and here you can have it. But oftentimes we don't deliver a good follow-through on that to really see the baton transferred fully into that person's hand. I'm just now working with a staff member, a team member of mine, in something that we're developing, and I want to see that it's really executed at a level that I can be happy and pleased with. And that requires my leadership, my guidance, and my mentorship, so that it's reflective of the overall goal and objective that I'm wanting to accomplish with that particular task. So let's just recap here. Leadership quality number 7 is good leaders know when and how to delegate. And they do that with 3 main points in mind. Determine when you yourself are ready, if you are going to hand over a task for which you have gained ample mastery that you can hand it over. And correspondingly tied in with that is that person ready? And you have to determine that as a leader. And secondly to that is you've got to instill the confidence that you have in them that they can execute it, and execute it at a level of excellence because you believe in them. And that's because point number 3, you're going to be there as the leader to guide and mentor them through the process. That's what helps them feel confident that in fact they can deliver whatever it is that you're handing over to them. So that is my teaching here for leadership quality number 7. I am, here it is, we're going into spring, so it's very appropriate. Spring cleaning. I'm on an elimination rampage. Certain tasks of mine have got to go. And it's me, I have to step up to the plate to do the proper delegation to make it happen. So go ahead and share with me perhaps times in the past when you have delegated a particular task, but more so, how about right now in this present moment? If you were going to go on an elimination rampage, what would be the first thing that you could offset and say, here, I'm going to have someone else do this? And with an eye that you're developing out somebody with even more capabilities for that which you are offsetting onto someone. And I'm sure there are a lot of people who would be happy to do that. So thanks for watching, and share your comments with me below. And we'll be talking with you next week about leadership quality number 8.